The sky often serves as a harbinger of nature's impending wrath. And now, the sky over China is completely shrouded in thick, foggy clouds. The heavy and gloomy atmosphere signals that something dreadful is about to occur. Just a few hours later, the sky was completely covered by thick fog, creating a dark and oppressive scene. The roads are now almost completely obscured, making visibility poor and movement a terrifying challenge. If you find this moment frightening, leave a number 1 in the comments. This city may be on the brink of facing an unprecedented severe storm. The sky, with its dense, gloomy clouds, is warning us of an impending disaster. It's a clear sign that a terrifying storm is about to hit, bringing with it the most daunting dangers for this city. Oh my God! Accompanying this scene are the thunderous roars of lightning, bringing with them devastating power to the sky. It is known that a lightning bolt, with its immense power, originates from the accumulation of electrical charges within storm clouds. When the electrical difference between clouds and the ground, or between clouds, becomes large enough, electricity will seek to balance through the air, creating a lightning strike. This explosion not only produces thunder, but can also have serious consequences. Lightning can ignite wildfires, set buildings on fire, and cause explosions or fires in the affected area. Moreover, its impact can cause power outages and disrupt electronic systems, leading to long-term effects on the community's daily life and safety. If you find this moment frightening, leave a number 1 in the comments to share your thoughts. The terror is just beginning as the sky starts to darken and brings with it the fiercest winds. The most intense moment. Immediately, powerful winds begin to surge in, like raging waves rising from the ocean. The howling of the wind creates terrifying sounds, like a symphony of destruction, making the air heavy and unstable. Accompanying the fierce strength of the wind are torrential rains. In places where it passes, objects are hurled into the air by the immense power of Mother Nature. The combination of strong winds and pouring rain creates a murky scene, with dense fog enveloping everything, transforming the city into a picture of desolation and horror. In this scene, everything seems to be thrust into a state of chaos, making movement extremely difficult and dangerous. Every raindrop and gust of wind intensifies the feeling of helplessness and destruction like never before. No way! The terrifying combination of howling winds and torrential rain only amplifies the horror of the scene. The entire city seems to be engulfed in nature's fury. Winds sweep through the streets, carrying debris and wreckage, while rain pours down like a waterfall, turning the scene into a dark and oppressive mess. Visibility is completely obscured, leaving only the thick haze of rain and wind. Everything left on the streets is hurled and heavily damaged beyond recognition. It's as if everything is erased by nature's wrath, leaving a profound sense of helplessness and fear against an unstoppable force. You're not mistaken. This is the terrifying aftermath of the storm. What remains now is a true disaster. Trees uprooted and violently shaken, shedding their leaves in the fierce winds. Houses and even rooftops are thrown about like scraps of paper in nature's fury. The streets are flooded, creating an unprecedented and frightening scene. It seems this place has endured one of the most dreadful and intense disasters brought by Mother Nature. Have you ever wondered why storms can be so devastating? The answer lies in the torrential rains that often accompany them, causing the most severe consequences. Storms not only bring strong winds and heavy rain, but also trigger horrific floods that sweep away homes and fields and claim countless lives. The intense rainfall over a short period causes rivers and streams to rise suddenly, leading to widespread flooding. This flood not only disrupts lives, but also inflicts heavy economic losses, hindering local development. That's the reason China is facing the most severe flooding. The continuous days of rain beforehand created an ideal environment for the flood disaster to develop, plunging the city into a state of catastrophic inundation. All right, if you find the moments we've shared incredibly compelling and engaging, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, just hit like. All corners of Guangzhou, China are submerged in a sea of water. The people here will face increasing anxiety as the water level continues to rise, with no clear solution in sight. First, we must mention that floods are known as one of the most terrifying disasters, topping the list of calamities with severe devastation. The areas affected by floods often leave behind haunting memories and profound fear for people, as their destructive power is ranked among the most dangerous. Oh my God! It looks like China is being submerged under a horrifying flood. This disaster has brought immense devastation, with homes and trees being swallowed by the highest rising waters. All that remains is a scene of terrifying destruction and desolation. The most terrifying moment. Severe floods are not just a natural phenomenon, but a deep-seated nightmare etched into everyone's minds. As the rain continues to pour, the floodwaters rise like an uncontrollable monster, sweeping away everything in their path. Land, trees, and structures are submerged in the churning sea of water, creating a scene of devastation and fear. Major floods not only cause physical destruction, but also leave horrific consequences for people. Everywhere the floodwaters sweep through becomes a chaotic mess, with everyday items destroyed and the scene turning into a vast wasteland, like a massive pile of rubble. The destructive power of Mother Nature is starkly evident, underscoring the terrifying and unpredictable nature of these disasters. All the bustling areas have now turned into vast bodies of water, with debris, belongings, and building materials mixed, drifting everywhere. The entire city seems to be swallowed up by the raging waters, a testament to nature's fury. Mother Nature put on an impressive show in Burton, South Australia this morning. It began with dark clouds, thunderous lightning, and fierce flashes, casting a gloomy sky and signaling a severe storm. Shortly after, rain, accompanied by hailstones as big as golf balls, descended violently on the area. However, within less than an hour, the storm quickly dissipated, leaving behind a clear blue sky and brilliant sunshine. The drenched ground began to dry miraculously, restoring a peaceful scene to Burton. Although hailstones can be quite striking, they can cause significant damage to property and crops. Therefore, it is important to protect your vehicles from hail damage by storing them in a garage or carefully covering them. If you found our video interesting, please comment 1 below this video. Bright yellow clouds often bring a spectacular beauty to the sky, especially at dawn and sunset. However, that Loon Regis waves, also known as the King of Fire waves, are a fascinating and dangerous natural phenomenon occurring in the Strait of Messina, Italy. Loon Regis waves are created by the unique combination of the narrow and winding terrain of the Strait of Messina, which allows for wave resonance when strong winds blow through. A sudden storm hit Chicago one July afternoon, bringing strong winds and heavy rain. The bustling city with its skyscrapers quickly became obscured in the thick downpour. Thunder rumbled across the sky, and lightning flashed intermittently, creating a scene that was both majestic and frightening. Although it only passed through the city of Osaka, Japan, the Moravska Novovest tornado left behind catastrophic consequences. The tornado appeared suddenly with wind speeds reaching 150 kilometers per h, sweeping away everything in its path. Many houses and trees were uprooted, roofs were torn off, and power lines were broken. The transportation system was paralyzed, and many areas were plunged into darkness due to power outages. Oh, it's unbelievable. The storm has raged for an hour, yet the people in Washington state have not received a single drop of rain, only witnessing the escalating devastation. Suddenly, there was a power outage, and within a minute, the wind rose as if from the depths of hell. In just 10 seconds, the wind was stronger than anything we had ever imagined. Soon after, mobile networks also went down, making the situation even more dire and frightening. The surroundings were completely chaotic, and we could only stand by in despair and worry. The entire village is shrouded in thick black smoke, with the blazing red light of the flames illuminating the sky like a nightmare. Oh my God! A fierce hailstorm has struck Phoenix like an unstoppable wrath. Giant hailstones as big as fists have been continuously pounding the city center, causing chaos and destruction. The porch windows of reporter Ben Cable from Cable News Network were completely shattered. Fragments of glass flew through the air, causing widespread fear among everyone. The scene was chaotic and filled with excitement as crowds gathered to witness the spectacular collapse of the cliff. The cliff crumbled with terrifying force, creating a thunderous sound akin to lightning. Enormous rocks shattered and plummeted down the mountainside at dizzying speeds. Dust obscured the sky completely. The collapse unfolded in just a few brief seconds, yet it left a profoundly powerful impression on all those who witnessed it. A powerful thunderstorm swept through Pudasjärvi, causing extensive property damage. Although no humans or animals were injured, many houses in the area lost power, and several square kilometers of forest and fields were devastated by trees toppled by the wind. The thunderstorm struck suddenly in the late afternoon, accompanied by strong winds and heavy rain. The wind knocked down numerous trees, breaking branches and uprooting them, plunging many areas into darkness. Nature's fury has once again struck China as terrifying floods devastate the coastal areas. The sea rises violently, submerging everything in sight, turning these bustling coastal neighborhoods into desolate ruins. The fierce waves, like giant beasts, tear through the seawalls, demolish buildings, and sweep away everything in their path. The flood, considered a once-in-a-millennium event, struck the city of Zhengzhou in Hainan province with 3 days of relentless rain, causing severe destruction and widespread damage. This is the clearest demonstration of the power and ferocity of nature. The impact of Typhoon Heiki has left Dongguan and Shenzhen submerged in heavy rain, with each drop seeming to fall endlessly. This incessant rain has not only distorted the landscape, but also caused severe damage to people's lives. In the sudden downpour, many cars were completely submerged in a sea of water. Vehicles, from small to large, lay covered by thick layers of water, with only the rooftops visible above the surface. Due to the high water levels, people can now swim through it, as if they were in a giant swimming pool. Can also signal warnings of bad weather, particularly heavy rain and severe storms. Brisbane is enduring a severe summer storm with strong winds, heavy rain, and flooding. The familiar image of the beautiful city is now covered with fallen trees, torn roofs, and flickering power lines, with sparks of electricity flashing. The strong gusts of wind carry yellowing leaves swirling through the streets, creating a chaotic and gloomy scene. Oh no! Floodwaters have overflowed into every corner of the residential area, forcing residents to urgently relocate to safety amid panic and despair. The city of Toyohashi, Aichi Prefecture, is facing severe flooding due to prolonged heavy rain. Traffic here has been heavily affected, completely paralyzed. National bypass routes had to be fully closed for 2 hours due to deep floodwaters. A number of cars were left abandoned by the roadside, with floodwaters sweeping away everything in their path. The sight of vehicles submerged in the sea of water is heartbreaking, making the situation more chaotic than ever. Oh no! Horror enveloped Golden Sands Holiday Park as the storm surged violently, flooding the heart of the caravan park and forcing residents to evacuate urgently.
That's pretty full, that is.
Chaos filled the area.
We'll
People
see
hurriedly
front.
moved, carrying essential belongings, with cries echoing in the wind. Fear was evident on everyone's faces in the face of nature's fury. Oh, it's unbelievable. The fierce flames are engulfing the village of Storozhevka, turning it into an uncontrollable sea of fire. It's been a while since we explored the majestic beauty of giant icebergs, those magnificent symbols of nature. Have you ever wondered why these ice masses frequently collapse and continue to melt over time? Share your thoughts below so we can discuss this fascinating phenomenon together. The most terrifying sight. When massive icebergs collapse, the consequences on the sea are extremely severe and frightening. The primary cause of this phenomenon is usually melting due to climate change, rising temperatures, and environmental imbalances. Large icebergs, when fractured, create a sudden disruption in the sea's balance, raising water levels and generating large waves. The consequences of this collapse are severe. Firstly, the collapse of the icebergs creates small tsunamis, altering the structure of the nearby sea and potentially causing damage to marine ecosystems as well as coastal communities. Secondly, the melting of icebergs raises global sea levels, leading to flooding and saltwater intrusion in low-lying areas, threatening the livelihoods of millions and causing significant property loss. Each colossal iceberg melts away, each icy tear falls, carrying with it the regret for a majestic ice age and painting a somber picture for the future of Earth. Iceland, the land known as the Land of Ice, is now facing severe glacier melt. Once eternal symbols of nature are gradually disappearing, making way for fierce waves and continuously rising sea levels.
Il fiume, un fiume che scorre. Il fiume, un fiume che scorre.